What's up, guys? It's me, Alan, and I'm back with another video today. I've got another NASCAR Diecast review to do today. Got a few more to do, actually. And, of course, these all come in courtesy of Circle B Diecast, which I haven't showed in the videos yet. But, of course, they also come with a sticker there, which is neat. But anyway, so this next one, it still boggles my mind that this guy has, after all the wins he had last year, it still boggles my mind that this guy has yet to win this season and really has not shown, I mean, at times he has, but hasn't really shown consistently that speed to keep him up near the front that he has had. It felt like he was going to have a pretty good shot to possibly do it at New Hampshire a couple weeks ago, but that didn't end up happening. But anyway, it's Kevin Harvick's 2020 Busch Head for the Mountains Ford for Storehouse Racing. I've already gotten it off the base. I did that while I was uploading my Xfinity Series race review. Go check that out. Please and thank you. Now let's go ahead and let's get the diecast out of the box and get on the review, shall we? But I will say this though, once again, another amazing Busch paint scheme by these guys. They nail it freaking every freaking time. Now, once again, loose windows, mostly in the front. And it's kind of weird because it feels like every time we get a Kevin Harvick car, or every time that I get a Kevin Harvick car that I have to take off the base, it honestly feels like the window is always loose. Don't ask me why, but that's what it feels like. Couple of things here. I don't think the Cup Series logo on the banner is centered, and I don't think the Busch Beers logo on the hood is centered either. Then you have a little bit of some paint issues here on the front end. But yeah, Kevin Harvick, he had what, 8-9 wins last year. This has only one race win sticker on it. So I'm not exactly sure when he ran this one. But it probably was probably around early to middle point of the season, because like once we got to the summer, that was basically when Harvick and Hamlin freaking took every single freaking race, it felt like. But yeah, so again, like I said, another really awesome paint scheme. Although I think that's pretty much what Busch Beer is known for when it comes to Kevin Harvick, is that they have all of these badass paint schemes. And yeah, I will say this though, it kind of feels like the 4s is not centered over here, but it is over here. Just gonna throw that out there. And you know, I just, with 4 races left to go in the regular season, and I talked about this in the Austin Dillon race diecast review. Funny enough that I'm reviewing this right after reviewing this, because, well, it's not the same car, but Harvick was getting chased down by Austin Dillon in the final laps of the Darlington playoff race last year. The irony, I guess. But the fact of the matter being here, that to think that Harvick went from winning so many races last year to not having a win yet, really, I mean, he's had a bunch of top 5s and 10s, but he hasn't necessarily had, you know, he hasn't really shown himself to be there at the very end to potentially win. Excuse me. And, you know, it's weird, and I think part of it has to do with Storehouse Racing as a whole. And it's definitely why I feel bad for Chase Briscoe, because he's walking into an organization that last year had one of the two most dominant drivers in terms of wins and finishes last year with Harvick. It wasn't just the wins; he was so consistent with his finishes pretty much up until the final 2 or 3 races of the year. You had Cole Custer, who, you know, stole that victory at Kentucky. You had Clint Boyer, who in his final season was doing alright for himself. And then you had Eric Almirola, who last year had that long-ass streak of top 10 finishes, and was doing pretty well for himself as well. And then this year, you have, you know, Briscoe taking over the 14. Harvick hasn't been there. It hasn't had nearly the same speed or consistency. Custer has basically maybe been a slight step below last year when you take away the win that he got. You know, Almirola has had some of the shittiest luck and some not so great finishes. Again, he entered like what 27th in points before winning at New Hampshire a couple weeks ago. So now he has that win, which I think is pretty surprising that he of all people was to get the win, the first Stewart-Haas Racing win of the season, and not Kevin Harvick. And then you have Chase Briscoe, who as a rookie, coming off of the dominant season that he had last year in Xfinity, I think he's done all right. But I think again, the whole organization as a whole has been hurting, and and has not been the same as last year. And I think part of that has affected Briscoe, as it has affected everybody else at Stewart-Haas Racing. But obviously, there's 4 races to go into the regular season. Watkins Glen's coming up tomorrow, and then Indy Road Course, which Briscoe won in Xfinity last year. So, yeah, it's different, Xfinity and Cup, but he does have that bit of knowledge. So, he has that experience on that racetrack. So I think that will help a bit. And then obviously we know that Michigan's coming up after that, and then the ultimate equalizer of Daytona. So honestly, I think anything can happen. With 4 races left and only 3 playoff spots left available, I think it's more likely that Harvick will make it in than he won't. But I did say this in the Austin Dillon review, I think we might have 14 or 15 winners this year. And right now, Hamlin is still the overall points leader. So, and Larson's right there, but he hasn't taken it yet. So, Hamlin, by virtue of being the overall points leader, regular season champion, right now at least, he gets an automatic bid. So technically there's really only 2 spots left with 4 races to go. If Larson knocks Hamlin out of the number 1 spot in overall points and takes that regular season championship spot away, then that opens it back up to 3. I think we might get a repeat winner at Watkins Glen tomorrow. But after that, we'll just have to see what happens. So again, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Obviously, make sure to check out the other Diecast reviews and the Xfinity Series race review that I posted earlier. Again, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts down below, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.